fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like Beyond the Veil with Chris and Cherie Geo, X Squared with Brooks Agnew, Paranormal Portal with Brent Thomas, Jeranism RAW with Jeran and Missa, Fearless with Frank Castle, Strange World with Mark Sargent, The Eye of Ra with Ra Castaldo, The Infinite Fringe with Billy Ray, Ironworks with Josh Corey, The Kev Baker Show, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117 or call into your favorite show toll free at 833-TFR-LIVE. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
Presidential Memorial Day events. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. President Trump and the First Lady today took part in a Memorial Day ceremony at Baltimore's Fort McHenry National Monument and Historic Shrine. The president crediting the military for its continued defense of Americans and for its role in fighting coronavirus.
In recent months, our nation and the world have been engaged in a new form of battle against an invisible enemy. Once more, the men and women of the United States military have answered the call to duty and raced into danger.
The president and vice president earlier in the day honoring the nation's fallen service members at Arlington National Cemetery. Coronavirus deaths in the U.S. expected to pass 100,000 this week. There are more than 1.6 million confirmed cases in the country. The World Health Organization today announcing it's temporarily dropping hydroxychloroquine from its global study of experimental coronavirus treatments over health concerns. North Carolina's governor is responding to President Trump's threat to move the Republican National Convention from Charlotte.
North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper's spokesperson says state health officials are working with the RNC about the convention in Charlotte and relying on data and science to protect the state's public health and safety. President Trump, in a series of morning tweets, said the Democratic governor is unable to guarantee full attendance in the arena by August without an answer immediately. President Trump says the party will be reluctantly forced to find another RNC site.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Former Vice President Joe Biden today making his first in-person public appearance in more than 2 months as he marked Memorial Day by laying a wreath at a veterans park near his Delaware home. The presumptive Democratic presidential nominee has been off the campaign trail over coronavirus concerns since early March. America is listening to Fox News.
No matter where you are in the U.S.
Wherever you are, make it Truth Frequency Radio.
Astronauts to the moon.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Not to get off track here, but I feel like we're in the Truman Show and we're in a snow globe and they just shook it up.
Welcome to reality.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jeranism Monday Night Raw, the current reigning, defending, unarguably, without any question, #1 show on Truth Frequency Radio on Monday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific, and that's 9 to 11 Eastern. I am your host, Jeran from Jeranism. I'm very happy to be here. Happy you're all joining me, and I've got some co-hosts to come along this bumpy ride with me. First and foremost, we've got the man with the plan. You know him all too well because of his deeply nasally voice, Dave Weiss.
Thanks.
Dave, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Oh, so happy to have you aboard.
Thank you.
It's very exciting. Who else do we have? We also have Jason Lingren. Jason, are you there?
Yes, I sure am. Hello.
Happy to have you aboard. glad you're here. Another voice of sanity in this sea of nonsense that we all are living through. But
that's for sure. Things
are looking up, I'm hoping. I don't know. We're going to keep hoping that. I'm going to keep thinking that. And we're going to make our own reality. We also have Rose 777 in the house. Rose?
What's up? Hello, guys.
What's new? What's exciting?
Ooh, I got a couple things up my sleeve with David, but we're going to keep it under wraps for now.
Nice. All right. I kind of know, but it's good. It's good stuff. Hoping that happens. It is becoming more obvious, it seems like, every day that this idea of government, the idea of authority, they're just other ways of subjecting people to slavery. You know, the more power we give this authority, the more they take. And I don't mean it's not like a give and take, you know, you might see in other kind of relationships. It's not like that. It's like the more power that we allow them to have, the more they force further allowance. So we need to start to really step up and take it back. Now, I don't know. I went to what I thought was going to be a protest. It ended up being just a street party in Sacramento, but it was still great to see so many people out there. There were maybe 2 masks out of 2,000 people. So you do the math on that. Not a lot of masks out there. And just a lot of good people having a good time. So it was fun. I'm glad I went, but it wasn't quite, I wouldn't call it protest material. And that video is gone now because it got some 11 copyright claims, because any song that was being played at this event showed up as a copyright claim, including the national anthem. I didn't know that could be copyrighted. It was sung in person, live, and yet it still showed up as a copyright complaint. And I got one complaint that I think would have been a takedown strike within 7 days. That seemed to be what the email said. So I did pull that video, but it doesn't matter. It was blocked in every country anyway. So did you guys get a chance to see it live? I saw Rose in the chat for a little bit.
Yeah, I was there. It was good.
Dave was there.
I watched a little bit of it with Rose. Well done. Glad to see you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. I saw a lot of good people out there. Obviously, Owen was out there. And I mean, not Owen Benjamin. A lot of people, when I say Owen, Owen's got this site, thegreatestdeceptionever.com. Really good guy. He's also got For Good, a website. I don't know if that's out and about yet. But he's also got flatearthgoesviral.net, the channel. So he was there. I also met for the first time a guy named Mr. Anderson. Dave, have you ever heard of this guy?
The guy from The Matrix?
No. Well, his channel name is Mr. Anderson. I guess I could put it on the screen because people should head over there and subscribe. He seems like a great guy. I saw right when we got there, this person's walking towards me. And at very first I thought it was a NASA shirt. I said, oh, here we go. NASA shirt already in the crowd. Then I looked a little carefuler and it said, lies, NASA lies. So I'm like, sweet, who's this guy? So he came up to me, handed me a printout, Dave, that he got from your website. So it basically had the mass exemption notices on one side. Then the other side had a whole bunch of channels. So he said, YouTube, BitChute, 153news.net. Then he talked about Flat Earth Heavy Hitters. So he had Dearth, me, Globebusters, Austin, Quantum Eraser, Nathan Oakley, The Plain Truth, P-Brain, That Flat Fellow, Nathan Thompson, Iru Landucci, Rob Skiba, Rodrigo. And then he had a couple other channels under Truth in General, Heavy Hitters, Russian Vids, Crow 777, Jason Lindgren, Secrets of Saturn, Karen B, Space Busters, Zulu One, Owen Benjamin, Brian Stavely, Joey Rocha. Once you go flat, you never go back. I mean, this list goes on and on. Then he had Health Heavy Hitters, so Amanda Vollmer, Andrew Kaufman, Thomas Cohen. He has Stefan Lanka, Dr. Nancy Truther Banks. I don't even know who that is. Alpha Vedic, Antoine Bechamp. So, Dave, I was thinking, do you have a page on your site? And if not, shouldn't we make one that just has links to everybody's channels? So it's just a page. It doesn't have any videos. It's just a page where you can send people that has links to these channels I just named, we missed a bunch, right? I mean, I like
that's a great idea. If somebody wants to put that together for me, the link to the video page. So if you go to someone's channel, go to video, and then use that URL, and then take the channel, the image for that channel, the little icon, and just drag that and pair them up, and send it to me in an email or Word document or whatever. I'll get it done. Otherwise, I'll do it myself, but it'll take me months.
All right, well, I'll start working on it because there's other channels in here that we missed. I mean, Phuket Word, I think, is a great, but there's so many good channels. And, ScubaDracula is doing, street presentations or street activism. So I think that that's something that we can definitely put together. But thank you, Mr. Anderson, for creating that. And I think it'd be great. And then if you do it, I'll put it on my website as well. Just a link to everybody. So it doesn't have any videos on the page. It's just a page you can send somebody. Maybe I'll do it on my website, and then I'll kind of forward that to you, Dave. We'll look at doing that.
And then whatever works.
Yeah, and then once I have it up, I'll kind of do a video going over it. And if people see that I miss channels, because I'll miss probably hundreds, they can start adding to it. We'll figure out a way that people can do that. So let me show you real quick. And I know you guys can't see, but I'm just showing the crowd real quick here. Just because I thank him for handing these out. He was going around the entire, protest, if you want to call it that, handing out these do not consent cards, viruses do not cause disease cards, with all these channels on the back. So I want to give him some love. But it's Mr. Anderson. He's got 248 subscribers, but you see he does a lot of videos with his NASA Live shirt, with some Flat Earth shirts. Looks like he does great work. So I wanted to get him up there. And he's also done a couple videos on eugenics, the origin of eugenics agenda, part 1 through 7, that he did a year ago. So good work. Anyway, I will pass this link off to both chats. So,
Jeran, what happened that was different this time? What were the police like? All that kind of stuff.
Well, I thought, because I talked about it on Friday, what I expected, and I expected that they were just going to have the same thing, and people were going to show up and be on the Capitol steps, and then the police would come out and push them back to the sidewalk. And I even said, if they were smart, and I hate to give the police or the California Highway Patrol any credit, but I said if they were smart and they didn't want people on the Capitol steps, then they would just have fences up or little gates and not allow people up there and just have them start only at the sidewalk. Well, that's exactly what they did when I showed up. And I can actually, let me pull this over for people to see. When I very first got there, I was showing kind of the Capitol steps as like a joke. Let me pull this. Actually, sorry, this great radio. I'm going to share with you guys just so I can stop saying you can't see it. And there's no sound, so you're not looking at any sound. I'll just let this play in the background. There we go. So you'll see when I got there that I just was filming this, and I said, nobody's here, just kind of as a joke. But basically, you can't really see them, but there's cops lined up all along here, every 2 cops per opening there. And then there's cops here, 4 or 5 of them surrounding this tree. 4 or 5 of them here. I did count as best I could. There's literally maybe 300 cops there, and remember, we're paying overtime. Here you can see there's tons of cops. But then I spun around and showed that all the people were back at the street this time, so there was no interaction with the police at all, other than positive kind of communication with them. I asked one cop if he'd rather be there protesting with us, and he said he'd rather be home sleeping. So that was his answer to that. The only thing that I was pissed off as I drove home, I said, "Oh man, why didn't I do that?" Is I wanted to go to all the cops that they could actually hear me, and I wanted to ask each of them if they watched that Officer Anderson's little video, where he basically said, we don't have the right to trample on these people's rights, just to see if they'd ever seen it. It would have been good to do. Maybe if I can ever do that in the future, I'll do that. But so there was a ton of people there. I would guess 2,000 people. And there was absolutely no interaction with the police, no negative action. Nobody got arrested.
Did you see Spiro's latest video where he interviewed a bunch of sheriffs across the country?
No. What happened?
Just basically these sheriffs are saying that they're not arresting people. They're allowing them to open their businesses. Right. They disagree with the governor. Sheriffs for standing up for the Constitution. It was pretty good.
And it looks like Cleary, thank you very much for the super chat, said flatrealm.com is my FE channel directory. So I'll start there and try and build something up, and then I'll, do a video and kind of show off all the links so that people can find everything and we can kind of keep it all in one spot. But that's great, Dave. I'm seeing that as well. Missa and I went for a drive today like we always do to the hospital just to check what's going on. And today was the first day that they had actually taken the tent down. So there was no tent at all. There used to be some tent with like a big, I don't know, ventilator tube running who knows where. For a while, they had like things set up in there. Then over the past 2 weeks, there was nothing in the tent. It was just still there. But then today, the tent is gone. Also, around this town, we're seeing the other night, we went driving around and there was a restaurant here called Strings Italian Cafe. And the doors were open. It was completely packed. The outside patio was packed. And people that were driving into the parking lot were shocked that it was open, as was I. I didn't know that there was any real restaurants in town that allowed you to eat inside. So that's changed. So I'm seeing some positive things here in California. How about you, Dave?
I was feeling strong today, and I went to the Home Depot, and it's basically ripped the rug out from underneath me and my faith in humanity. Everybody wearing masks. But I was able to walk right in. I was able to talk to an employee there asking where something was. Nobody said anything to me about not wearing a mask, but I was the only person, and this is a gigantic Home Depot, and the parking lot was packed edge to edge. So super crowded, everyone wearing these masks. And what gets me is these designer masks. Everybody just has, it's a fashion statement. They're all part of something.
Right.
And it literally kills me when I see people, out. I was on the water today, people on these boats wearing masks out in the open, fresh, blowing air. It was windy too, and they're all wearing masks on a boat. It makes no sense.
And so if you guys are watching the protests now, you'll see that there is 0 people wearing masks and many people close together. I also saw a video today of all these different events that went on. By the way, happy Memorial Day to everyone. I guess I forgot to mention.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah. But everybody was at the beach. Everybody's in these pools. And don't you think people are going to wake up to the fact that if this were a pandemic, a true pandemic, there was some bug that you were able to transmit from person to person, that everybody would be sick?
You'd think that.
Yeah. I mean,
I heard in California that they're opening up some pools, but no matter what size the pool is, only one person at a time in it.
I doubt that. I did see the governor came out today and said that churches can reopen with a maximum of 100 people. I'm like, what is that? I can't picture. There's going to be 6 feet of space between people in these pews. It's just ridiculous. They've got people so afraid, so scared, and and then the way the media plays this all out. If you look at the media, was anti-lockdown. Look at I touched this lady. Oh boy, I'm gonna die. It's all over.
So, Jared, what is current mask policy in California? Are you supposed to, according to the powers that be, is everyone supposed to be masked up, or is it optional?
I believe it's you're supposed to in the Bay Area, or again, these are just suggestions, and they make it so that you don't have a choice. A lot of places don't allow you to go inside without masks. Missa and I have just chosen to take our business elsewhere. We did go to Costco once, and once I realized they were requiring masks, I just said I'm not going to go to Costco. It's just pretty much that simple. If we go to a Save Mart for groceries, that's kind of our grocery spot, and they don't require masks. All the employees are wearing them. But again, if I went tomorrow and they required a mask, I would say I've got a medical exemption. I would walk through, do my shopping, and then I would choose to shop somewhere else. So I think that's kind of the point to me, is disobedience is key right now. Disobedience to orders is necessary. I don't know. It's like, to me, the news and the mainstream propagandists are all trying to desperately convince people that you're alone in thinking this nonsense going on around you is just that it's nonsense. And so these protests help really show you that you're not alone. I mean, it's very easy to feel like, okay, if I go out, I'm going to get sick, and I'm an idiot for believing that viruses don't exist. And then all of a sudden you look at this crowd right here, and you're like, wait a second. So, and you have to figure this is only people who even knew this was going on. I mean, a lot of people don't even know how to find that this kind of stuff is going on. How do you figure that out? Well, it's not being posted on Facebook. Facebook isn't allowing posts about protests.
Did the news media cover this? The mainstream news?
I saw it on a few sites. And basically, it's always funny. The people that the newscasters that talk about it are there standing completely far away from people with masks on, trying to play it as these are anti-lockdown conspiracy theorists who are likely to kill grandma. And again, that's how they want people to think of it. So everything to me is always, and I know Dave argued with me on the Veritas show. But, no, Dave, I appreciate you coming back. I blame so much on the media, so much more than I probably even should. But I just when I
you're probably
media,
right.
I know that people listen to the media so much. There's so many people who drive to work every day and they listen to the news. And we have to realize that the news is run by these globalists. That's who own them.
Right.
That's
right. Yeah. Let's talk about how scripted, how really planned out all of these things that are happening are. I think it was one of the channels, I forget, it was a Tell Me What You Love or John Thor. Somebody, did you see where they put all the big commercials together and showed how they're all the exact same formula?
It's identical. And
it starts off with the piano music. That's almost the same piano music in every commercial. And then they're talking about, we're always there for you. We've been there for you. We're always there. We've been there for 50 years. It's the same exact formula. High production. This stuff is planned way in advance to get it done like that. So, is everything is controlled that much on these big companies?
Dude, we've done shows on this. You know where it comes from. It's places like PR Newswire and Business Wire and all them. They're making, I forget exactly what the percentage was. It was like 70 to 80% of the news bits or whatever those things, those video bits, they're prepackaged, and then they get the teleprompter script so that the locals can read it and gives it a local flair, so you can have your little southern twang here and your laid back California thing there and your straight laced
up north. The national ads, Jason. It's the same, I'm sure, but the national ads, they're just every company, they're all the exact same script.
Yeah, they're all working for the same company, and they're getting the same package of symbols and motifs and integrating. Probably we're going to start seeing commercials with tons of people wearing masks in them, which I'm glad I haven't watched TV in years.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's all coming from these same sources from the top down.
So I've been listening to Matt, Quantum of Conscience, and a lot of people, and he made a great point today saying that the infrastructure that they're rolling out right now doesn't suggest that they're just going to let this thing go away. Like,
why would they waste all this time just to let it go away? I think he's totally right.
Yeah, the infrastructure with the contact tracing and the hiring of the people and everything, it makes no sense to let it go away.
No, I think these pricks are going to the next level, and they can let it kind of fall out of the general consciousness for a few months so people chill out, but they're going to roll it right back out again, and they're going to have all this stuff in place already.
So we got to get people to just say no. I know it's hard for people to do, but if everybody does it, there's just no way that they can combat that. They just can't. They couldn't possibly get to all these businesses. They couldn't get to all these business owners. People really just have to do things like this. Show up and protest. Go out and do what you want to do. Go to the beach like you normally would, and say no to businesses that are cucked. Don't wear pool noodles on your head, please. Don't.
God, that one got me so bad. I don't know why that one flipped me out, but it's
because it's ridiculous.
It was right because it's so over. It's like people, they're taking the piss out of you. Come on.
No, it's like people don't even realize that the whole idea of you can transmit a virus. It's so funny that people will order delivery, and again, this is how Missa and I make money to live. We work for DoorDash, but it's hilarious that they're like so afraid to go out that they stay home and have us bring them their food. So, you have the person making it who's bagging it up. Then here comes Missa and there or me. We're both in the car. We're both touching it. We're both putting it into different bags. We take it to their doorsteps. It's like there's now more people doing things. It's the same thing with these pool noodles. It's hilarious to me that that's just one more thing people would touch. And again, I don't even believe the virus transmission idea. But if you do, then don't you realize what's going on? And you're right, Dave. I can't stand these commercials. They're pissing me off. All these pizza places, no contact delivery, and all this bullshit. What happened before? What's the difference? Did somebody touch your pizza 6 months ago? No, the pizza comes out of the oven and goes in a box. And that's it. There's no, so they're like convincing people that something's new. Oh, come to our restaurant today. Now Burger King has contactless drive-through. Well, what the hell happened before? Were they spitting in the food?
Well, you never know.
Well, you never know. They're probably spitting it more.
But
now.
seriously, well, I am being serious, I guess. But yeah, they're promoting fear, dude. This is all they got now. It's just, man, they did fear before. You know, I just said something to someone earlier today too. We were talking about a few things, and I said maybe it's every 20 years. You know, what happened about 20 years ago? We had the 9/11 crap. Well, that's had a long time to settle into the general consciousness, right? So now they've got something new to sling up and shoot down our throats. And they're not going to let this one go either. We still hear about 9/11 20 odd years later.
Yeah, no,
I just can't even believe that people might even wear masks when the supposed lockdown that we should all just not pay attention to, when it's officially over. It will be so strange to me if people just continuously wear masks, and it's brought up here and there, and I'll have to see it to believe it. I hope it's not true.
Yeah, I'm still not sure about that one. The other day, I forgot if it was Friday. I'm forgetting all the shows now. But one of the shows, somebody was saying they only see 2 masks or something when they go. Maybe it was Rodrigo was saying that in wherever he lives, that he goes to the market and only sees 2 masks. And I'm like, wow. I mean, I can't picture going to the grocery store right now and only seeing 2 masks. I don't even think in a year I would see that. But
I saw one guy without a mask in the last 5 times I went. One guy, one time. And I kind of tried to give him like the, hey, yo, bro. And
Dave, I'm pretty sure that was a mirror. You sure you didn't walk by a mirror in the store?
Pretty sure.
Was he argumentative?
No, he didn't even look.
No, I was trying to say you're the only one without a mask. But it's good to know. Did you guys give each other a high five and a hug? You should have.
I tried.
He ran away, though.
He didn't even see me. I think he was just pissed off just going through the store. Like didn't want to even look at anybody.
But this was good. Again, there was a lot of people out there with blankets, having picnic lunches, a lot of children, which I love to see, and no issues. It was very peaceful. So this is kind of what I expected. It should have been the same way last time. I don't know why they got their, were butthurt over people being on the steps. Nobody was trying to get into the Capitol. Nobody was causing any problems. They just all of a sudden came out and decided to show police force. So I kind of thought that that's what would happen again. I said, oh, they're just going to do this again just for fun. But again, they did the smart thing by just putting fences up around where they didn't want people going, and then people were just in the streets. But I'm not sure. They said there was no permits for this. That's what I read in an article, that there's still not permits allowed for protests, which is the funniest thing I've ever heard. You need a permit to protest. What? I thought I had a right to protest.
Up, man.
No, you need a permit. Well, then that's not a right.
That's not right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, no. You protest because you're pissed off and you're not happy with what the government is doing. You're not going to say like, hello, government, I'm not happy about you. May I please have permission to yell at you?
Right. Yeah, and just to be clear, a permit is paying for permission.
Right.
Yeah.
Permission. Yeah, maybe you can see the connection here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's so funny that we have to basically ask for these permissions. And again, I like how Jeff Berwick talks a lot about how these laws and regulations, if they're backed by a threat of violence, is slavery. And that's really...
Yes.
We need to look at, and that a lot of people just don't see that anymore. They don't realize that that's the barometer. If you're not causing pain to someone else, if you're not murdering them, if you're not stealing from them, then nobody has a right to do that back to you. And that's exactly what happens, is that your government comes and steals your money, they fine you, they do all these things. If you don't have a right to do those things, how would they? That's what people need to recognize. And yet people keep giving these guys more and more leeway. And if you do that, the more rope you give, they're just going to take more and more until you're hung by it. And we're really at that place now where we cannot allow the government as is more and more control. We just can't.
Yeah, so people need to realize their true power, that we can govern ourselves. People are so close-minded to believe that we can't take care of ourselves when we absolutely can.
Absolutely. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Stay right there.
From the dawn of man, we have turned to nature to help attain balance within ourselves. But somewhere, we lost our way. Western culture is once again remembering the healing benefits of CBD, the non-psychoactive component of the hemp plant. That's why more and more people who use CBD report relief from inflammation and chronic pain, balanced blood sugar and cardiovascular system, relief from muscle tensions, tremors, migraines, headaches, anxiety, depression, and the list goes on. The big question is, where do you get it? Life is a 99% pure CBD oil made with all organic ingredients, and it's available to TFR listeners worldwide. If you use coupon code TFR at checkout, you'll get $5 towards your order. Head on over to ialife.com now. That's AYA life.com.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death. This is Uncle Walt from the Ironworks. Josh, Corey, and I have chosen to look at life with no fear. No fear of the unknown. No fear of questions about the supposedly well-known. No fear of ridicule for thinking outside the familiar fool's lines. No fear of the boot on the neck of those refusing the party line. No fear of taking on those so convinced of their beliefs they would sooner drink the Kool-Aid than believe they've been fools made. In this world filled with me too, cattle think, can truth's protective layers be peeled back to show the tender, juicy pink? Are we all just grist for the mill? Souls sold against our will, or is that just how it feels? When you're filled to the rim with trivialities so fear-filled and grim, break clear of the fear. Right here, Tuesdays and Fridays at 2 a.m. on TFR. Josh and I and you will hammer out the impurities of technology-driven groupthink, fold in a dash of logic, and quench it all with a bit of absurdity. The Ironworks. Break clear of the fear.
Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
All right, welcome back to Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys for joining us. We do appreciate it so much. We've got myself, we've got David Weiss, and we've got Jason and Rose joining us as well. Again, thank you, Clary, for the super chat. I think I mentioned that. Dave, you wanted to show this video. Tell me what we're about to see.
Yeah, what we're about to see is just I believe it's a 4th grade girl being told the new rules for school and her reaction to it. If you're not watching, the audio is good enough, but it just really shows how pathetic all of these measures that are being taken are. But there's actually a positive side to this where I think more kids are going to be homeschooled. I think more kids are going to learn about the world and not the BS in school. But school, I always said college, even grade school, 90% +% of it is the social interactions. It's not the schoolwork. And it's probably even more than that now, knowing what we know about what they teach us in school. But just hearing this little girl, I don't know, I thought it was very powerful. Check it out.
All right, let's watch. Here we go. Wow, that's hard to watch, actually.
Yeah. Absolutely. David, I understand what you were saying before, and I totally agree with the homeschooling, that it's so awesome that this is going to drive more kids to get out of these indoctrination camps. But what I'm really sad about is that, unfortunately, in the system that we're currently living in, there are a lot of parents that depend on sending their kids to school while they're at work and stuff like that, and some people have little options to take care of.
Absolutely.
Right now. So I really wish that we could come up with an option for them, for everyone, you know?
Well, I agree with what Dave said, too, the fact that, my son was homeschooled for 7th and 8th grade, and then he wanted to go to high school for the social interactions. But, I'm thinking now that if there isn't even social interaction allowed at school, then I wouldn't.
What's the point?
Right, what's the point?
Family groups that, back before this organized education or de-education, they would have they'd have these kids, and some of the parents would teach the kids, and some of the parents would go do work things. So they would create their own little small communities. So I kind of see that happening, where you're going to have neighborhood or family groups where, one or two of the parents will be the teachers, and the other parents will do what needs to be done to make means.
Right. I love that idea.
Where do we need to move? Do we need to move into Jason and Rose's new house? How many rooms is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually pretty big.
People really should move to this area, Covington, Louisiana, if we want people
actually,
to move
the cost of living here for what you get is actually pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah.
California.
That's I mean, there's so many changes that are coming. The world is no longer anything like it was 3 months ago. By the way, the video that I was talking about where they put all the TV commercials together, it's by the Potter's Clay. Love his work. Everybody needs to see that and watch it. Watch it twice, so you can see how organized this mind control is. The way they get away with everything they get away with is mind control. And people are like, well, mind control. Well, is that a real thing? It's absolutely a real thing. They mind control us with the Globe lie. They mind control us with these commercials. And I recognize it right away because look at my videos. I use the same music. I'm not part of it, but I understand the power of having the little piano track in the background. It holds people's attentions. It grabs their emotions. But this stuff is so well orchestrated. It's infuriating.
So my other question is how they ever set up this left versus right talk about mind control, because now they've made it where, I would love to have done some sort of a poll out here, but I mean, what percentage do you think of these people at this protest are on the right?
I don't know. I mean,
all of them. That's the crazy thing is. So now, is it about the right is about liberty and the left is about safety?
Seems like it's going that way. I can't argue with that.
Yeah, it seems like they're just trying to push that even more. The right is about vaccines, safety, and now the left is about, well, no, we need herd immunity through vaccines. We need to trust government. We need to go towards socialism. We need. It's just, I don't know. It's insane to me. And the other thing I was going to talk about, I mean, does anybody think that Joe Biden gaffe is real, or do you think that guy's going to bow out of the race soon?
What gaffe?
Didn't you hear what he said?
About the black people thing?
Yeah, he told on some black talk show. He told people, if you don't know whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
That's,
yeah. Oh, it just happened the other day. He can't
the
be.
Bulls are big there.
Yeah, but you can't be that stupid. I mean, it's almost like it's a setup to me. Like this is the beginning of him kind of bowing out. He's just too much of an idiot. Like, and I don't know if it's going to be. I've heard a lot of people talk about whether it could be Cuomo step in. They're kind of playing him up as this hero, right? So is it that something happens with Biden, he's got to step down? I mean, you can't say that. He just pissed off. And that's another thing is like by him saying that is how the left thinks.
Doesn't Back to the Future tell us that Trump's going to be president?
There are allusions to that in the second one, how evil Biff was very similar looking to a middle-aged Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Right. It's just funny. I don't know what I don't know if they're just throwing it away on purpose. I don't know if Hillary Clinton's going to step in. A lot of options out there. It's just that to say that is so stupid. It's like, to me, whenever I see somebody do something so over the top stupid, I'm like, all right, come on. He's just allowed to say that. He didn't think twice. Like, oh, that's probably not the best thing to say. But that is really how the left thinks. The left thinks if you're a woman that you vote left automatically. And if you are a black person, you vote left automatically.
Let's not forget that they're oppressed by all women are oppressed by all men.
Right.
No, I mean, I'm not even kidding. That is the kind of, I mean, maybe they won't blatantly say that, but that is the horseshit kind of narrative they push. I mean, if you ever look at any of the ding-dongs who are ruining all of the entertainment, they're all those kind of people. They all feel the same way. They all hate Donald Trump for reasons they can't even give. It's all the same crap.
Social justice warriors. Doesn't matter what the guy said. I mean, if he would have came out and said, I'm taking Advil for coronavirus, just to make sure I don't get sick, then right now we'd have reports coming out that Advil is being discontinued because of dangers. That's how ridiculous. That's how over the top it is. And it's so stupid because I'm the first person who's been talking about for 4 years that the left versus right is just this false way of getting 50% of the people against the other 50%. And then you watch it all happen in front of you and you just start to realize that it is the most brilliant scam ever. It's brilliant because people they'll fall into one of those lines. It's because it's simple. So you just set up certain things like, are you for you have to find something that you can have people for or against, and then they will just fall into one side or the other. They have to.
It's amazing how easily people can be led into believing what they want to believe. There, and the vast majority of people want to believe that this is true, that we're not being lied to.
Right.
For example, and I'm talking to people about trying to talk to someone about, the tests having false positives. They're like the CDC says, CNN says that the tests are 96% accurate. Do you know what a 96% accurate test does with a population with a disease that has a 1% infection rate? Because I think it's less than 1%. Let's just call it 1%. So if you test 1,000 people, 1% of them will have coronavirus. So in theory, so that's 10 people. But because of the 4% error, another 40 of them are going to test positive. Okay, that's an 80% incorrect false positives on a test that's 96% accurate. So people don't even understand that simple math. I mean, even people that, they just never thought it through. 96% accurate test is an 80% With a 1% disease like this that they claim, it's probably even worse than that, but has 80% false positives. That's massive. That's if you even believe any of the tests in the first place.
With believing any of it. Even if you believe the numbers, again, I looked up California today because I can't believe these percentages. I'm like, and this is knowing that their tests are false. This is knowing that there's a false positive. And this is knowing that they'll call anything a COVID death. That there's only been 3,700 deaths in California. Again, if you believe these numbers, which I never would. And that there's 39.5 million people in California. I'll believe that a little bit closer. I think that number's probably accurate. Well, do the math on that, and it comes out to a 0.009% death. 0.009%. And they shut this all down. They cause people to be homeless. They cause people to be without jobs, not be able to pay for food, causing people to be hungry, causing people to be so afraid they can't see straight. They've got to wear masks alone in their car. By the way, I just paused it right here because I wanted to get your guys' opinion. Please, what do you guys think about putting children on leashes?
Oh my God!
I hate it. It's despicable. Yes. Why not have a comfortable relationship with your kids where you have a mutual understanding? I mean, you're just treating them like animals, you know, and then so they're going to act like animals if you treat them that way. I really believe that people should treat their children with respect.
Jeff Berwick's never put his dog on a leash.
Jeff Berwick's dog has more freedom than this child.
He said he'll never put a leash on that dog.
No, my dog's the same way. We go for a walk every day. Miss and I go for a little over 2-mile walk down this walk path, and we've never put our dog on a leash. She goes with us every day, walks very close to us, and is afraid of most dogs. So whatever dog passes.
His mom's is just like that, too. She just goes for a walk with you, and if she goes too far, you say, hey, come here.
But I do understand putting a dog on a leash. Like, let's say you've got a pit bull or something. And again, if my dog's out there, you don't have your dog on a leash. But not your 4-year-old. So.
No. That's disgusting.
It's the one thing I saw at this protest. I'm like, come on, I had to film it for a little. Like, is this guy really? Like, I won't say anything to him, but you know, people can raise their kids how they want. But certainly, I think it's terrible putting children on leashes. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. The other thing I wanted to mention for people, if they don't know, is if you have an iPhone, please go to the settings and go to automatic updates and turn them off if you haven't already done so. And if you go there now and you already had automatic settings on or automatic upgrade on, automatic update on, you might find out that you have version 13.5, in which case you have Corona contact tracing abilities on your phone. And this contact tracing stuff is really getting scary. Dave, you sent me a video the other day. A lot of people are taking these contact tracing classes. Have you seen these online that you can do through Johns Hopkins?
I heard about them.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing it myself. They said it's an 8-hour class. I would love to see what kind of propaganda they're pushing through that, although I've seen a couple videos from some people saying they went through it, and this whole idea that they're just enforcing this new rule. So that's where I see what you guys are saying when you're like, how are they going to let this go? They're not, because they're spending, $100 million, $100 billion. How much are they spending on the contract tracing? The
$100 billion if that bill passes.
That's just stupid. I mean,
by October 1st, that's when the year is up.
And they're paying these people who have, and I hate to even tell people because I'm afraid there's people out there going to be like, oh, I need money. My job's been taken away. And for an 8-hour class, so you only need to go take this 8-hour class, and then you get the certification that you are contact tracing eligible or whatever, and then you can go to your whatever city government, state government, whatever it is, and apply for a job. And they're paying people like $40 an hour.
Jeez. Well, you see what they did, Jeran? They took away people's businesses or their jobs or whatever. They put something out there to dangle. It's like, look what you could do. And guess what? You'll probably make more money than you used to. Isn't that wonderful? All part of the plan, baby.
And they said a little segment on the radio news the other day where they're like, oh, there's only 100 people that have signed up locally, and we need over 1,000. So, get out there and get registered today so you can be a contact tracer. Basically, sit home, look through people's personal information. It tells you everything about the person. So if the person, doesn't that go against everything HIPAA, I thought, protected you from? So basically, if you come back positive, your name, your address, your phone number, and it's not, I guess not your friends, but who knows when that'll happen. But you show up on a computer screen that this person who took an 8-hour class all of a sudden has the ability to see. They can sit there in front of their computer. They can see everything about you. Then they initiate the phone call to you. That's why I wouldn't answer any phone calls that aren't in your contacts. And then they start asking you the questions. Well, who have you been to? Whose house have you gone to? Oh, what's their address? What's their phone number? And what did they... Go ahead.
When I was at the store the other day, there was a kid sitting out in front of the store in a chair, counting people going in and out of the store and checking off who was wearing a mask and who. I think that's what he was doing, but it was very, very strange. Have you read the update for iOS?
Yeah.
It's
all tied into
it's iOS. I'll read it.
13.5.
Yeah. Speeds up access to the passcode field on devices with Face ID when you're wearing a face mask, and introduces the exposure notification API to support COVID-19 contact tracing apps from public health authorities. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, you have to. So that's why I'm telling people it's very easy to turn off automatic updates. Now you'll be stuck at 13.4, but your phone will work for a while and hopefully for quite a while. But there may be new apps that you won't be able to download in 2 years, but you should be fine for a while. And again, I also read a little bit on it. It doesn't seem like, just because you have that on, that you still might have to download some app, but I wouldn't put it past them to automatically download that app at some point in the future. Where then the contact tracer, when they're looking at your name online, if they have your phone number and your phone contact, well, then they can see where you've gone, and then they can contact other people that have been in your vicinity. And I forgot who it was. It might have been on Nathan Stoltman's show, Lift the Veil, where he was talking to some guy who has went through the class, and he was talking about how there's certain time periods, like if you're in the same building with somebody for an hour, even if you're not within 6 feet of that person, you are considered to be somebody who was in contact with that person. Meaning that, let's say you work at Save Mart and you work in the deli, right? And somebody comes shopping in there and they're there for an hour, but they never go to the deli, so they're not even close to you. But because they were there an hour, even if they're there for 5 minutes and they have it, because you worked in the deli and you've been there all day, so 4 8-hour shift, whatever, all of a sudden you are a contact. You're now going to be quarantined for whatever they say, 14 days. And remember, they're quarantining people even if they're healthy. Why? Because they could be asymptomatic. They could have it. They test you, and just because you get tested today and you don't have it doesn't mean you're not going to have it tomorrow. Doesn't mean you're not going to have it the next day. So it's just getting pretty insane.
Well, you know what we're going to have to start coming up with is an efficient way to lie to the contact tracers.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's don't answer the phone, right?
Well,
Until they start.
You happen to be dumb enough to have been caught up with something, or if somebody points it out to you, if someone points you out and says, "Well, what about that person?" and they happen to be at your door or some shit, you know.
Oh, and I've heard of them doing that in other countries, like China. They say they're doing that at Wuhan. They're going door to door to test people. I haven't heard of that yet here. I don't think people would stand for it, but I think the phone calls will be happening already, because that's just something that they have people's phone numbers. And if you contact somebody who says, oh, yeah, I was at this place and I was at this friend's house, and then they call that person, oh, yeah, I had so-and-so over and this person, it's just people offering up again. It's people who will be forced into the position where they feel like they're part of something to help out, right? So you call somebody who's very scared of this, and, hey, were you at this location? Yes, I was. Well, who else was there? We need to get to them quickly before my friend Joe was there, my friend Bob, his wife Mary. Do you have their phone numbers? I sure do. Here's their phone numbers. Now they call them. And it's all people who feel like, just like Dave said with these masks, they feel like they're saving lives by giving up people's information. That's the position we've all been put in.
Yep.
I'm sorry. This is private information. This is the absolute definition of tyranny.
Well, look, a friend of mine who's married to a doctor told another friend of mine who thinks that this is horseshit, after they argued about it online for a little while, I quote him, well, I hope you go and fucking die.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, huh? That's how these people feel. I mean, yeah. I've heard people say it about these protests, right? There's people who would watch this protest and say, I hope all these people get sick and die. And if you think that's a stretch, you are out of your mind. There are people who think that. There are people probably watching this show who think that. Believe it or not.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people that think that. They think that we're reckless, and they'd be happy to rat us out any way they could. Unbelievable.
The same people who flag every video I do. I mean, look at all the videos that I'm having removed. Like my Friday lounges don't last at all. Some of these shows aren't going they don't last very long. Somebody's going in and flagging those videos. And it's the same people who are hoping that I get sick from going to this event. There's people out there like that. I mean, think about the kind of person you have to be to think that way. Do you think I ever think, oh, I hope all these Globe channels who go after me all get sick and die? I've never thought that for a second, yet that's how they feel. What a difference in the kind of people that different beliefs lead you to be. And believe me, if you're a person who believes in evolution and survival of the fittest and all this whole idea that materialism brings you, you actually feel that way about other people. I hope they die. I hope they pass on. I hope you don't procreate. I hope you get gas. I hope you and your family gets gas. That's the kind of people that evolution believers, I think, scientism believers, they become those kind of people. Scary thought.
Hey, can we talk about there's a big launch coming up on Wednesday, is it?
Yeah, in 2 days I saw that. The first
the astronaut one?
Yeah, the first launch on SpaceX of American, I was going to say soldiers, American astronauts.
On American soil.
Yeah.
So how do you think they're going to fake it? They're going to have the same thing, launch off of Cape Canaveral, fly out over the ocean, show us a bunch of fakeness on TV. The people that are there are going to see the same, whatever they're launching is going up away and then disappears out of range. Is that it?
They might put in a little more effort, like with some interviews and things like that, to convince people of the validity. I mean, think about what they did with Apollo. I mean, these guys were everywhere. They're freaking rock stars in the 60s.
I know. I've been watching this one channel that's just the NASA fanboy, and they're just showing the test run, the astronauts arrive, the suiting ritual. It's incredible how lost these people are.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I want to see this just shows you that it's just the same. It's just NASA. It's not needed, because if it was something different, if it's SpaceX, it's new, it's private. Think how easy it would be to have cameras all over this thing, cameras inside the craft, but it's going to be identical to every launch we've ever seen. Right? I mean, will they even show cameras of these people in the craft? We didn't get to see that, but for a 3-minute clip when they're launched from Kazakhstan or wherever they're launched from on the Soyuz. They always have just a little clip of them sitting in the chairs where they look like they're just not even moving. And then they have the so-called moment that they go into space where the little Snoopy toy will float for a second. But that's all you get to see. So I'd be interested to see if that's what they're going to try again. I'm betting it would be. Couple super chats real quick. John F. says, I only wear a mask inside stores because if anyone says something to me, my reaction will be my fist damaging their face and I will go to jail. I don't like the idea of wearing a mask in stores just because, disobedience is key. What we have to learn to do is not to go along. We have to embrace being different, but I see your point. Kevlar said, I appreciate each and every one of you for these streams. Eternal thanks. You're welcome. Joe Bones says, Joe Biden, have you seen his campaign signs? There's Joe ones and Biden ones. Both have 33 on their own or together. Wouldn't put it past him. John F., I guess you don't address super chats. What? Okay, I just did. No, I do.
Maybe it takes a while.
Oh, sorry, just didn't. I do address them, but maybe not as they come in. But yes, you only wear a mask inside stores because if anyone says something, simply don't wear one in your car. But if everyone does that, and that's why I feel what's going on. I talked about this at Costco, where I think that everybody in the store doesn't want to be wearing one, but they all are forced to wear one. So it kind of shows, it makes this facade that everybody wants to be wearing the mask and is okay with wearing the mask. Whereas when my wife and I walked in, said we had a doctor's note, they didn't care. They just let us in. The first thing that happened was a husband and wife came over and said, hey, how did you do that? How did you get in here without a mask?
Yeah, that hasn't happened to me yet. I'm expecting it. I'm like, I want to tell people, but no one's asked me. Yeah, amazing. Did you hear Trump when they unveiled the new flag, talking about the super duper rocket?
No.
What is this, South Park? What?
No. This is Trump actually said, and you guys have, I think he said a super duper missile. The super duper missile. That means the super liar. Okay? The super deception.
Is that like the mother of all bombs?
Google it during the pull it up. I'll try to find it. But just to hear him say, "Oh, and you got the super duper rocket," it's unbelievable.
All right, guys, don't go right back. Talk a little bit more. Then taking phone calls right here on Jeranism.
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like The Christopher Everard Show, The Covert Report with Susan Lindauer, Enemy Within Radio with Tom Barnes, Freaky Friday with The Woo Crew, The Gematria Effect with Zachary Hubbard, America's Evil Genius with Travis Cook, Phoenix Rising Radio with Phoenix, Quantum Connections with Lucky, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117 or call into your favorite show toll free at 833-TFR Live. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
Memorial Day. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. President Trump and the First Lady taking part in events today honoring the nation's fallen service members and those still serving the country.
President Trump was delivering remarks at Baltimore's Fort McHenry. They're paying tribute to America's fallen heroes. The president not only praising the efforts of men and women who've served in the U.S. over past wars, but also the current effort to battle the coronavirus.
Tens of thousands of service members and National Guardsmen are on the front lines of our war against this terrible virus.
Earlier this morning, the President and First Lady also made a trip out to Arlington National Cemetery to visit the tomb of the unknown soldier. The cemetery, though, remains closed to the general public because of coronavirus.
Fox's Mark Meredith. The number of coronavirus deaths in the U.S. expected to pass 100,000 this week. There are now more than 1.6 million confirmed cases of the disease in the country. The federal judge who denied the Justice Department's request to immediately drop the criminal case against former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn has hired an attorney to defend his action.
U.S. District Judge Emmett Sullivan has hired a well-known trial lawyer to help to explain to an appeals court why he's declining to dismiss the case against Flynn. That's a move the Justice Department already recommended earlier this month. The D.C. Court of Appeals is now giving Judge Sullivan's handling of the case a closer look, and they've ordered him to explain why he's going against the DOJ grain by appointing a retired judge to prosecute Flynn's case.
Fox's Jillian Turner. The White House is broadening its travel ban against countries that have been hit hard by coronavirus, saying it will now deny admission to foreigners who have recently been in Brazil. That country is now only second to the U.S. in the number of COVID-19 deaths. The ban does not apply to U.S. citizens returning home. America is listening to Fox News.
This is the Truth Frequency Radio Network. We are TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
On the weekday, don't be surprised, don't be surprised. Walk like us. They even talk like us. Walk like us. But they are not like us. On the weekday, you can see the signs, you can see the signs. They wear the disguise. Look into the mind's eye. There's nowhere to hide. Don't stick covered lines. Whispers from afar.
All right, welcome back. You are listening to Jeranism Monday Night Raw, and sorry to the TFR crowd. I guess you couldn't hear the video that I played earlier with the little girl, so you'll have to watch it on YouTube, on the Jeranism RAW YouTube channel. And right now I'm about to play a video. Hopefully, I did change the settings, so you might be able to hear this. And if not, again, I apologize to the TFR crowd. I don't know why Skype doesn't pick up my audio anymore. All right, let's try this. Dave, make sure you can hear it. You just want me to play it from the start?
Yeah, go ahead.
What was
Did you haven't listened yet?
No, I haven't.
He just says, he talks about the super duper rocket, but just listen to what he says. Just play it, and then I'll tell you when to stop.
Sure.
Incredible military equipment at a level that nobody's ever seen before. We have no choice. We have to do it with the adversaries we have out there. We have, I call it the super duper missile. And I heard the other night 17 times faster than what they have right now. Then you take the fastest missile we have right now. You've heard Russia has 5 times, and China's working on 5 or 6 times. We have one 17 times, and it's just gotten the go-ahead.
That's good.
6 times faster, if you can believe that.
Dave, you don't believe in the super duper missile?
So hold on. Super duper missile. What did he say 3 times?
17 times.
17. Trust the plan. 17 letter of the alphabet. The 17th letter of the alphabet is Q.
Oh, 17 times. Oh, boy.
Oh,
I can't wait till they start talking about warp drive and shit like that. Gonna go to another planet.
I have just raised my Q-tardedness to 1/4% from 0.
Okay, that's not bad. 0.0025. Let's see this. This was the unveiling of the flag. Very exciting stuff.
Just the plan. Oh my God, the flag.
It's great.
China, but I mean,
I was
look at this
sure
flag.
when I saw
Awesome.
that picture.
The freaking United Federation of Planets.
What? Say it again. I didn't hear you, Jason.
I said, look at this freaking flag. This is awesome. It's the freaking United Federation of Planets. Like, where the hell is Captain Picard, you know?
Or it's like Asgard.
That's a big day.
Have you ever heard those guys singing that Asgardia pledge? Oh, God, if you haven't heard that. It's one of the funniest things.
Yes, I have. I know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like some space colony or something, or the first galactical federation.
That's what they claim. They've got some kind of network thing with a satellite or some other horse feathers. I don't know.
Mostly horse feathers. I agree.
Predominantly. I mean, I love this flag, though. This absolutely.
So, Dave, what do you predict for? Is there any possible chance that we have death in 2 days, and you have to shut down the private launches of space? Or do you think it's a success, and we all celebrate Elon Musk, and basically realize that he's possibly Jesus Christ incarnate?
I don't know enough about the launch. I just really haven't been paying attention to even guess at what nonsense they're gonna try.
I have this right. The last time that American astronauts were launched from America would have been the shuttle.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
Right. So this is the first launch of American astronauts in a rocket from here.
So there will be no disaster. The question is, will they launch or will they delay? Right?
Well,
is that what you're thinking?
Right. No, I was thinking, well, if there was a disaster, again, I'm not going to predict that, but if there were, then it would be very easy for them to say, kick the can down the road. It's going to be another few years. SpaceX wasn't ready, and we need to keep it away from the hands of private enterprises for now. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's a possibility.
2011 was the last time, by the way, for an American launch.
2011.
Cool, I like this. They got a new logo, Launch America. Have you seen this? Here, check this out, guys.
Ooh.
Yeah, let me grab this link for you real quick, and we can talk about it for a moment if you like. I like this. This is nice. They put some effort in. If this stuff was real, we'd be living in a cool time in this internet age, you know? It's like we can see what everybody's doing all the time, and they can... Hell, I just ordered some $20 webcams for our new house. I wish they had a couple of those on the craft so we can actually see anything.
What? That's way too expensive. Do you know how
$20 webcams. They're by a company called Wise. Check them out. They look pretty awesome. If they suck, I'll let you know, but they've got great reviews.
What is this? This is the astronaut suit.
Yeah,
oh my God, the astronaut suit is
again,
such
this
a
looks very
joke.
Star Trek-y.
This is great.
It looks like plastic. I mean, would that thing survive in a vacuum?
Well, it's the future, you know. This isn't 1969.
Oh, boy. And Dave, you saw that you can go to the
flat screens.
Where were we looking? What is flat screen? What am I missing something?
When I'm pulling, it's got like a pull down thing, and there's pictures coming up behind it. If you, well, I have to say that they've done a good job with the sets because these do look way more high tech.
This one. Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is so much further than the little Soyuz pictures. So basically, we'll be able to see this during the launch. We'll have this camera view.
I hope so.
Think of the cameras that should be in here.
Wow, look at those gloves. Guys, we need to tear this apart. Look at these gloves. You're trying to tell me that this stuff is pressurized? Look at that. Look how thin that is.
Okay, I'm going to predict these two guys die. I'm going to go ahead and go. I'd have never heard of these guys. Benkin and Hurley. These aren't any astronauts nobody's ever heard of. So
is there lighting in their helmets, lighting up their faces? I mean, this is made for a movie.
Yeah, this is like movie. And this, I don't know what's going on with this. This is, and what is this? Some sort of like iPhone attached to their, or is it?
Are these supposed to be those spacesuits that they premiered not too long ago, where they had the girl on the stage and they were showing like?
I don't think that's not what her helmet looked like, right?
No, I thought they were bigger. That's why I'm asking, because I thought they were bigger, but I haven't looked at it in a while. I mean, these suits look. This looks like a movie because
mission. That was for the moon mission. This is the space station.
Oh, okay, Dave. Sorry, you're right.
So is this not pressurized? I mean, it doesn't say anything here. I'm just taking a look over as best as I can see it.
If it's not pressurized, why do they need it at all?
Oh, they have an iPad. iPads to space. Look, bottom left.
Bottom left.
Better than the pads of paper they had with the pens and the strings from other launches.
You don't like the stick where they press buttons with the stick?
I love that, actually. It's my favorite part.
Let me see. Oh, you're right. They do have iPads for space.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the... can I see this whole picture so I don't have to keep farting around with it? Let me see. View background image. There we go. Here.
I do see a camera here.
Here, I'm going to make it easy on you. I don't know if you want to share this with everybody just so they know what the hell we're talking about.
Oh, no, I'm sharing it on the stream. They can see it.
Well, here, let me give you this, though. It allowed me to do this.
What do we have here, an image?
It's that image, but not blocked.
Okay, let me get it here. See if we can share it on this way.
Yeah, now you can actually take a good look at everything. So it looks like they have...
I don't know why it doesn't.
Ink pen. Yeah, there's no way, going by what I know of space technology, that those are space-worthy suits. Like, they can't go outside the capsule. Maybe they're just pressurized for air, almost like a fighter pilot kind of thing.
Right, they must be that, because these aren't like for spacewalks or whatever.
They sure make people think that's what they're for.
These look like this all looks like props. I mean, that cabin is sleek compared to all the crap that they've shown us before.
Now, Dave, what did you think about the ISS simulator with the flat Earth on there?
Oh, that was interesting. That was amazing.
It's so stupid. So this is when you go to ISS-sim.spacex.com. Supposedly this is the exact same docking simulator or whatever that they use. So here it's coming up on the screen now.
Do you know what I'm thinking of when I see that image you're showing right now?
Can you see this screen, Jason? You can see Skype, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you go to this little simulator, you go begin, and this is a docking simulator for docking on the ISS. So as soon as you start, this thing starts going off, so you have to kind of bring yourself back in line, and you'll see we're flying above a globe here. So
cool.
I did look at it. You have to get all these numbers between 0.2 or something. So you basically fire your thrusters here.
Boy, if only Neil Armstrong had this for the Eagle.
Oh man, look at me! I can navigate in space. See how good I am here?
You fly the dragon.
What are you thrusting?
Chase that dragon,
against, by the
baby.
way?
Dave, don't ask questions like that. Okay, rockets work in space because SpaceX tells us. Anyway, so here's me going towards the thing. But you can go up here to settings, which is ridiculous, and see here you can turn gravity on and off, which makes a lot of sense. And then here for Earth, you can have it oblate spheroid or flat. And then when you
what?
When you put it on flat, then it puts the flat Earth map down here and has it rotating in space. So
are they taking the piss out of everybody?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because again, if you see this and you're like, wait, there's no way there's a disc like this flying in space. So yeah, of course, that's how it's very easy. If you're a space fan, you're like, look at me, I'm about to dock. And here's, as you see what I'm doing here, you have to get your little thing lined up with this little green triangle or diamond, sorry.
Did space suddenly get less hard because they have video games now?
Yeah, it's really easy now. I mean, why would you need 2 years of prep for what I'm doing right now? I'm about to dock just perfectly fine. Here we go. I'm going to fly forward now. So anyway, people can play with that if they want. ISS-sim.SpaceX. But it's still funny that they have the flat Earth map spinning in space. Of course, that's the one thing that we've always said. This is what they love to use, right? They love to put. I'm surprised they don't have Saturn up here and Mars over here and show like, this is ridiculous. How would you be able to have a disk in space? But it's still funny that they put it on there. And also they have gravity on or off. John F. sent another super chat. He says, does Weiss still need a Long Island guy? Hit Jason.
Say again?
I don't know. I'm reading the super chat. It says, does Weiss still need a Long Island guy?
Yeah.
Question.
We were talking about doing experiments over the summer, shooting over from where I am in Connecticut over to Long Island.
Oh, is that John?
I'm always willing to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, John F. You know him?
Yeah, he wants to do it with you, David, if you're up for it.
Where in Long Island is he?
You'll have to talk to him. I honestly don't know. I mean, John and I talk almost every day, at least a little bit, and he's fired up to do it if you're up for it.
Yeah, all right. Let's connect us and we'll have a conversation and figure it out for sure.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, it's also fun if you just hit this forward button a million times, you'll eventually crash into the ISS, which is fun too. All right. So anyway, let's get off that. That's
want to take some phone calls? You have phone calls lining up, or?
Sure. Yes, I don't doubt it. Let me just get to that screen. Any app updates? Anything else we need to know? What's coming up for you, Jason, in the future? Anything?
Yeah, always. We never stop. Crow needed a little bit of a break, so he didn't do most of the show yesterday. So we pushed off the Alphonse episode, which is going to be this Saturday. We have a gentleman recommended by our friend Dr. Kaufman named Sayer G, who's going to be recording with us next week. I have a television and Tavistock episode that I'm about half done writing. And Crow has been doing a killer job working on stuff with proving, well, I don't want to give it all away, but it's with the Vatican and proving where everything came from, to put it in as simply as I can. It's going to be one hell of an episode when we finally get around to it. Might piss a lot of people off because, well, you know what happens when you start messing with people's belief systems.
Yeah, that's a tough one to get into. Glad you guys are handling that subject. I've tried a few times, and it doesn't usually go well, but I need to get back to that because that's kind of my favorite subject, believe it or not.
It's one of mine, too. Because once you start getting into it, you do realize that all roads do, in fact, lead back to that little place.
They do indeed. Thursday, by the way, folks, I have a show coming up entitled The Truth About CBD. Big Pharma Lies, Government Cover-Ups, and How to Take Control of Your Health. That'll be an interview with Al Morentin. He's spoken at a few Question Everything conferences and has a website and is able to, really talk to us about how to take control of our health and doing so with CBD. So I think it's a good topic with everything going on in the world today. I keep telling people taking care of your health has to be number one and not being afraid, but just being healthy. Can't ask for anything much more than that. So, yeah, we'll take phone calls now. If you've got something to tell us, 213-233-3998. Maybe you've got a story or something else, whatever it is. We will go to the phones. Let's start in Quebec with Daniel. Daniel, what's up? Daniel in Quebec. You're on the air. Okay. You're not on the air. Let's go to the 360. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. What's up?
Oh, here we go. Hello?
What's up? You're on the air.
Okay. Hey, David Weiss, on your clock app, your Sun, Moon, Zodiac clock app, you should really start including the 7 wandering stars. Have Mercury and Mars, Jupiter, Saturn.
Yeah, it's something that
more than Saturn, but
it's something I've been considering. It's just getting all that data in there and getting it to work is a very, very expensive and data intensive step. So looking into it might be something we'll do in the future. But I am thinking of adding a card deck game, like a flat Earth trivia game deck. So it's something that you can play with other people and maybe even have multiple phones that use it and play all linked together. I'm working on that.
Yeah, that's something like drunk kids could probably play. But you got the 7 wandering stars, keeping track of the retrogrades and everything. I studied the art and science of like magic and sorcery and metaphysics and all that. And if I had that up, shoot, man, shoot.
Well.
All right. Well, he'll work on it.
I'm working on that. Thanks for the suggestion.
I think it's a good idea, but I think we talked about it, Dave. It would be tough because what size are these planets going to be on?
Right. It's also they're so small. I had to make the moon, and the moon and the sun are way bigger, and the moon had to be even bigger than the sun. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. I tried it smaller, so.
That's another thing is that people, I think, have a hard time recognizing is that the moon and sun are so much bigger on that app than they would be anyway.
They'd be a pinpoint.
Right. Yeah. Think of, even if you take the 32-mile diameter that we've heard before, picture the clock app right now and then picture 32 miles on a land feature, which would, you can't see that. 32 miles would be like San Francisco to San Jose. It's a pinprick on that little map.
Yep.
All right, let's go to 360. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. I believe that's Dottie.
Hey, you guessed right.
What's up, Dottie? How are you?
I am doing awesome. How are you?
Doing great.
Awesome. So 2 quick things. Tonight at 8:30 on my channel, I'm going to have Ted Summer, Zulu One, and Ginger Sugarbush 905 on, and we're going to talk about Memorial Day and whatever else we want. And then this coming Saturday, I am still having my Flat Earth meetup if it doesn't get shut down and set on fire or whatever. So
we'll get you.
Yeah. So yeah, Seahurst Park, Burien, Washington at 3 p.m. And the only tip that I can tell you how to find me is I will have a blue lawn umbrella. So I'm sorry if you don't know what I look like. I have glasses and like kind of purple hair, and there's going to be a few people there. Don't know if Mark Sargent is coming, but there'll be a few people there, so just come and have a nice picnic on the beach, and you're not allowed to wear a mask.
Say the location one more time, but say it slower, because every time you say it, I can't even understand what you're saying. Say it slower. What park, what city?
Okay, it's Seahurst, so it's Seahurst, Seahurst Park in Burien, Washington.
Gotcha. Okay, good to know.
And it's in the water, and like it'll probably be a hot day, so like pretty much plan for like a day at the beach. Like bring a cooler if you want, or a chair, or another umbrella, or whatever. Because it gets pretty hot there at the beach. But should be able to find like kind of a more shaded spot. I don't know. Like I'll figure it out. But yeah, just look for the big umbrella and
who will be providing pool noodle caps?
Right. Safety noodles.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Burger King caps?
Is that real?
I think so.
There's some big plastic crown that I didn't know if it was a joke that Burger King has people wearing. It cannot be real. We'll have to look that up. It might be. It's getting that crazy that the things that I would have thought formerly were absolutely fake. Now I'm like, probably true. If they've got pool noodle caps and bumper tables.
And I saw another one today, and I'm just assuming it's real at this point. It's like an upside down coned piece of plastic, like an upside down champagne glass that goes over the person, and they're eating inside this upside down giant glass that's hanging from the ceiling,
like a dog collar, like a dog.
No, not like a dog collar. Like, imagine a giant wine glass, gigantic, like 4 feet wide, and it was lowered down over you while you're sitting at a table, so it's just about to touch the table. And you're sitting inside it, and then the waiter slides the food underneath it, right across the table. You know, there's like a 4-inch gap, and then you sit inside this thing and eat.
Just say no, ladies and
guys. Did you think when we were looking at all of this information about a New World Order or whatever you want to call it for all these years, did you think that they?
Do you think what? Did we lose
Jason?
Jason, in the middle of your sentence, you fell out of touch.
Want to know what he thought we think?
Did I lose everybody?
There you go. You're back. Go ahead. Say it again. Did we think what?
Did you think when we've been looking at this material for years and years about this New World Order coming in and all this takeover stuff that it wouldn't be done with troops on the ground? Oh, no. They do it by turning us all into a bunch of freaking pussies.
Right. It's amazing. They have us doing it to ourselves. You've got every business out there looking which way can we do this, which way can we join the efforts, which way can we all be heroes? Because everybody's a hero now. Everybody. If you do any work in life, you're a hero. So everybody's heroes now. We're all pitching in. We're all doing our part. We're all wearing masks. We're all saving lives. We're all kissing grandma through plastic sheets. Did you see that one, Dave?
Oh, I saw that with the arms, like the
big cellophane hug.
Oh my God,
it's getting disgusting. All right, thanks, Dottie. Appreciate it. Hope people show up for your Flat Earth meetup.
Thanks, Dottie.
See you, Dottie. All right, I see possibly Daniel called back. Maybe not. 418, you're on with Jeranism RAW. Who's this?
Hey, it's Daniel.
What's up?
Yeah. Not much. Just want to say that things are going very sad for the summer. In Quebec, they closed most events, all the festivals, so it's pretty sad. It's getting personal as well, so we need to stand up with our sheriffs and defend our constitutional rights. None of what they're doing is okay. So keep doing what you're doing. We need to disobey, and love your show as always.
Thanks so much. Appreciate the call as always. And I agree with the disobey because I don't know what other choice you have. So I think when it comes down to it, that's what you have to do. He's saying festivals getting shut down and stuff. The one thing I saw that was kind of surprising to me is I'm pretty sure casinos are opening here June 1st, which I would think would be something that they would, definitely not want.
Well, no, the casinos are going to open, but no slots because people touch that, and only one person per table at the blackjack tables.
Did you hear that?
And, no, I'm making this up as I go, but it sounds very good.
A friend of mine here works at a small casino, and they're doing it 25%. That seems to be the standard thing here anyway, is 25% occupancy, including the employees. And then it's like every so many chairs where they could sit down at the machines. That's how they're doing it here.
You want to know what's stupid? Have you heard the baseball rules that came out? How are they going to keep these in order? They say there's no gum chewing, no spitting, no eating sunflower seeds, no sitting 6 feet from each other in the dugout. So you're actually going to have players sitting in the in the stands? Because remember, there's no fans.
And every player's on his own to get home. No boss. No team travel. You're on your own.
Yeah, get there as you want, and no team flights, and it's a joke. They have to be laughing at us, Jason. It can't be another.
I'm telling you, if evil Jason was in control, I'd be in the hospital from ripping my insides open, laughing so much.
It'd be pretty funny. Pretty funny where guys got more.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. By Christine, great for heart palpitations. By Anne, before I started using this product, every afternoon my ankles and my hands would be swollen. That doesn't happen anymore. So if that part of their advertising is true, I have to assume that the rest of it is also. Not to mention that when I had my yearly blood test, only a few weeks after beginning to use this product, my cholesterol had dropped over 30 points. I'm going to continue to take it. By Croc, I love this product. It really works. By Brad, works great, thank you. Tell us your story. Get your Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If you have hard water, the Lime Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Hey everyone, it's Mark Sargent from Strange World, broadcasting live every Tuesday evening, 10 to 12 Eastern, 7 to 9 Pacific, right here on Truth Frequency Radio. Strange World covers a wide range of topics, from enclosed world theory to lunar waves to the end of the world in film. It's basically doomsday with a silver lining. With the audience as my co-host, we take an optimistic approach to all things conspiracy and promote confidence, hope, and humor whenever possible. If there's a topic you want us to cover or a guest you would like to see interviewed, please email me at msargent23@comcast.net. So please join me and tell your friends about Truth Frequency Radio, the leader in real radio programming, bringing you quality, cutting-edge broadcasts from around the world.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
No hate, no hype, no fear. Real people, real radio.
All right, welcome back. You are listening to Jeranism RAW. Thank you guys for joining us. I usually use this time to just remind you, support what you like so it doesn't go away. get Dave's app. Use patreon.com/DITRH, patreon.com/Jeranism, or Venmo, Jeranism, Cash App, $Jeranism, and get Crow 777 Radio, CRROW 777radio.com. Subscribe so you can get hour 2 of the great podcast, and then always subscribe to Jason at Secrets of Saturn and to Rose at Rose 777, and of course to Crow 777.
And don't forget, making a Flat Earth friend is the greatest thing ever in the app. Gifting the app is the best way to do that. It's the best $2.99 gamble you can take, because either it'll make them a Flat Earth friend or it'll alienate them forever. Either way, it's a win-win.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we'll get back to the phones, but I am wondering, guys, how do we move beyond this? How do we make sure we don't give it any power? How can we get more people to ignore the propaganda, to ignore authority? Do we continue talking about this subject? Do we completely get away from it? I like laughing at it. That's
ridicule. Yeah, I'm with you.
Ridicule is definitely one of the ways. It's certainly not something we can completely get away from, but as much as possible, go out and do what you want to do. Support local restaurants, support local businesses that aren't requiring ridiculous, masks.
Accoutrement.
Yeah, just go out and do something good. The other day I was thinking, I wonder how golf courses are doing. I enjoy playing golf, but looked it up, and there was no tee times for like the next 2 days because they're all sold out. So people are out doing stuff. So I think that there is more people doing things than we're led to believe. Of course, if you just look at the news and you just look at media, of course, media is playing this up as it's the end of the world, everybody's dying and everything else. But I think there's a lot of people just doing what they want to do. And like I noticed, there's no pomp and circumstance for the places opening here in my city, but there are restaurants opening up, and those are the places I want to support and help out. So do that in your area. Let's go to 208. You're on with Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Who's this?
Hey, guys. I just wanted to share my experience with flying since Corona. I'm an avid flyer. I have been on 10 flights since the beginning of March.
Wow. So, yeah, you fly a lot. Okay, yeah. Let us know. Have things changed or remained the same for these 10 flights?
And early on, there wasn't a mask required, and then beginning of April, they started announcing that masks were recommended, and then on my latest flight, this last week, they said that they were required on both the airport intercom and during all their pre-flight announcements, and then even on the airplane. And out of all of my flights, my last one on my return flight, I was asked if I had a mask, and I said I was exempt, and that's all that it took.
Good. So you just said, I'm exempt from wearing a mask. Did you have to say it was for medical reasons, or you didn't even have to go that far?
I didn't have to go that far.
And were you the only one?
No, and there were other people. There were a lot of people at first wearing masks in the airport. Lately, with the reductions in flights, the planes have been getting fuller, and so to me, it looks like a normal airplane. Just everyone was wearing masks.
For the entire flight?
For the entire flight, yep. Sitting on an airplane for 3+ hours wearing a mask.
Dave, that's going to make people sick.
I saw a guy at the Home Depot today struggling to get, he was like overweight and out of shape, and he looked like he was about to drop dead. And I looked at his mask, and it had like mold on it. It was like where his mouth is. It was wet and it was moldy. And I'm like, this guy is literally gonna die from wearing this mask. There's no doubt. And I wanted to say something to him. I was just trying to catch his eye and like hand him one of the cards talking about how dangerous wearing a mask is, but I just wasn't up for the fight.
And for my work, I wear a full face respirator with chemical filters. That's what I typically wear to complete my work. And these people that are wearing cloth masks and even the N95 mask, those are for one-time use, limited, if an hour, they should not be reusing these masks at all.
Right, that's why they come in boxes of 100. You're supposed to put it on, cut some wood, and not get any wood chips down your throat.
Think of them like condoms.
Those are multiple use?
Now, Jeran, we need to have a talk after the show, please.
Okay. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate the call. Anything else you want to say? Go ahead.
And I have seen people wearing, full face respirators in airport and masks with excess or external filters on them, and they're not doing anything except for limiting the amount of oxygen that they're getting.
Yep, appreciate the call, and so you guys heard it here that you should just be able to say you're exempt and not have to wear a mask. But again, it's getting crazy. 970, you're on with Jeranism RAW. Who's this?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's up?
This is Brad Tyber. I just thought it'd be smart of SpaceX, if they don't want to show any of the video footage, they could just say that somebody in the camera crew contracted COVID-19 and they don't have to show us anything at all. It'd be a good alibi for them right now.
It'll be interesting to see what they show.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely interested in what's going to happen, but they could easily get away with just saying somebody's got it and they don't have a camera crew right now, so just trust us. We shot off a rocket today.
Yeah, and I'm sure nobody's going to be allowed at the launch, right? So you can't. It's an event. Can't have.
Yeah, they probably won't let anybody be there either.
It's a good time to make a nice magic NASA Blue Beam air show.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's a good show tonight, guys.
Thanks. Take it easy. Appreciate the call. How about 516? You're on with Jeranism RAW. Who's this? 516.
Jeran?
What's up?
Hey, Jeran, you have a great show. You there?
Yep, I'm here. What's going on?
Shout out to you. Shout out to Jason. To Mr. Weiss. I'm in East Meadow, and Jason has my contact info. And please hit me up for his project.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you for the super chat, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely. I love your show, Jeran. I love you. I love Weiss. I love Crow. I love Jason. I love everybody. So hit me up, please. Hit me up. Jason's got my info, okay?
Thanks, man.
All right, you guys.
Good to hear from you, John.
Love you guys. Love you 100%. 100%.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Let's go to 423. You're on with Jeranism RAW. Who's this?
Oh, sweet. I didn't think I'd actually get through. How's it going?
Doing well.
Awesome. I've actually been listening to you, Jeran, since your Stonehenge video, like 5 years ago.
Thank you.
But, no, it's been great. So last night I was out and at a bar, and this guy had a mask on that I was introduced to. And at first I was kind of picking on him for a little bit, but then I didn't want to be that guy, so he actually sat down next to me, and through our conversation, I just kept asking him questions, trying to figure out why he was actually wearing it. And he ended up just like totally letting his guard down. And after about 30 minutes of talking to him, he took his mask off and put it away in his pocket, and then ended up buying me a drink about an hour later. And we were best friends by the end of it. And I just thought it was a really good way to just take the time and to disarm somebody instead of just attack them with information. I just took the time to hear him out, and then I told him my side of it, and he eventually put it away in his pocket, and I thought it was really interesting.
Nice.
But, his main point was...
You just started asking him questions like why he thought it was important to have one on, and you kind of gave him your opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, but I really just wanted to hear him out. And it seemed like that's all he wanted. And he told me how other people have been picking on him for wearing the mask, and it was just as if he was relieved to have some kindness through it. And, I think he just didn't really know why he was wearing it. He just wanted to play it safe.
Yeah, I think that's going on everywhere. But when everybody does it, then it looks like everybody around you wants to wear it. Again, they love to give this facade, this, the propaganda, this idea that, everybody's okay with this, when a lot of people just aren't. They just don't know how to be okay with saying no. Because it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm actually going to get off the phone now. I just hotboxed my truck, and I'm real nervous. So take care, everyone. I love all you guys. You're great.
All right, roll down the windows and take a little drive. 315, you're on with Jeranism RAW. Who's this?
Hello?
You're on the air.
Okay. A long-time listener. Thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to tell you guys about something funny. So, back in the 80s, Pizza Hut literally sent pizza to the ISS, and it cost like $1 million. I just thought that was funny. I wanted to share it with you guys. And
I don't think I knew that.
For, yeah, check it out. It's awesome. And thank you for having a great show. You guys are awesome. So thank you.
All right, thanks so much for the call. Dave, did you know that Pizza Hut sent pizza?
It sounds familiar, but I guess I did not know that. But that just goes to show that these big corporations, Pizza Hut is involved, are at the very upper levels. They're part of the problem.
Yeah, they are. But again, it'd be quite easy for you to say, here's a pizza, get this to the astronauts. Okay, we got it to the astronauts. Here they are eating it. I never seen anything like that. I'll have to look for a video on that. 504. Oops, did we just do 504? You're on with Jeranism.
Hello?
What's up?
Hey, how's it going? This is Dennis from Oregon.
What's up, Dennis?
Hey, how's it going? I've been about to send my wife and son back to New Orleans briefly because I know they can get jobs down there. That'll just to get through this economically. Yeah, I had one question. If either of you guys just put it out with the coronavirus and the flat Earth movement. I mainly listen to Mark Sargent's show, but would you say the momentum of the past, say, 5 years from the flat Earth movement, would you say when it's over, would you say that momentum's going to have a dent in it, or that it, to the best of your opinion analysis, has it killed it effectively or taken the stuffing out of the flat Earth movement? What would you say?
My answer is it's taken the stuffing out of everything, out of the economy. It has brought everyone's focus to this COVID nonsensical crisis, but it has definitely not stopped anything. I mean, we're all focused on this. We have to figure out a way through this, but I think Flat Earth is still growing. It just, we're not talking about it right now because we're talking about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say real quick, I tend to think that more people are home, more people are doing what I said happened to me. Remember, I was told about 9/11, told my friend to shut up. It wasn't until I was home and working from home that I had time to get on the internet and search some things like 9/11, search some things out for myself. And that's when I, quote unquote, if you want to call it that, became a truther, or at least noticed some lies. So I'm hoping, and that's something we wouldn't see yet. That's something, something that maybe the powers that be haven't thought through. But by having everybody home, by having them in quarantine, by having the shit that's on Netflix and you running out of things to watch in no time, that people went to the internet to find things. So there may have been people that have heard about Flat Earth for the past years and just never had time. Again, if somebody would have told me when I was a store manager for CVS that the Earth was flat, I would have said, what difference does it make? I still have to go to work. I still got to feed my son. I don't have time to look into that. all of a sudden, when you have time to look into things like this, that's a bad thing for the powers that be, because the truth is out there. You just have to find it. So did anybody during this time search that was a flat earther because of what's gone on become not a flat earther? No way. That's not happening. But has anybody that wasn't a flat earther been home long enough that they're looking into these things and finding some small bits, maybe the moon landing, maybe other things? I think so. Would we notice that yet? Not yet, but in time. So I think it might be a positive in the long run.
One last question. I've got a couple things to put out. I'll say maybe because you've got other callers, maybe be for another time, another call. But I'll just say succinctly, there's 2 books that I've come across within the past. Well, actually, I've known about them a while. I recently got them. One has to do on the Middle Ages and the Renaissance in the Western Europe and the survival of flat earthism up to the 16th century. The other and its death in the West at that time until the 19th century. The other one has to do with, I guess, more Byzantium and Russia in the East and its survival in Russia, and it focuses on Cosmas Indicopleustes. I didn't know that there was a bunch of Slavonic manuscripts extant where that was basically with the West folded on flat earthism. I think this book is by Jeffrey Anderson. It's a bunch of experts on the issue, but it shows the continuity of flat earthism in Byzantium up until, I don't know, the Crusades or something, and Russia pretty much carried the torch in the Christian East from that time. Now, it's a real technical book, but the editor is Jeffrey C. Anderson. The other book, I'll just say its name, Geography, Cartography, and Nautical Science in the Renaissance by William Randles, Randles, and he shows it's basically the last countries were Catholic countries in the West, Spain and Italy, that had flat earthism as an active science in the 1400s and up to the decades after Magellan, where the Protestant countries and the Protestants in the Renaissance were the viciously anti-flat earth, and they were the vanguards of this new... anyway, you get the idea. Those are the 2 books I put out there. There's a lot of detail. These are like highlights of their lives, this research. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. That's for the historical.
Thanks for the call.
Thanks for the info, and I've written those down because I haven't heard of either of those. So another super chat from Eric DeLion. Thank you so much. He said, the best way to resist is to persist to disobey the powers that want to put us away. We will prevail. Totally agree. You have to disobey. It's just the only way to show these people that they don't own you. You are responsible for your own life. That's what freedom is. 337, you're on with Jeranism RAW. 337. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with your phone. 517, you're on with Jeranism RAW. Who's this? 517. There you go.
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
Good.
Love all you guys, man. I've been listening to you guys for years. I subscribe to Crow. Love Jason's shit, man. I love your music too, Jay. But anyways,
thanks, man.
I was just laughing my ass off at that flag you guys just showed with the ball. It was the blue screen ball. I'm like, if that's not right in your face, right? You know what I mean? We can fake anything. But anyways, and another thing I always want to say, I love the understanding you guys have about eyesight too. You know, the whole perspective of understanding how when you see the sunrise and sunset, it's not actually what's going on. It's what your eyes do when they pinch the horizon. It's the same thing when I'm on the tarmac. I look down the tarmac and I see the runway lights. You know, they're perfectly even all the way down that thing, but when you're far down the distance, you see them connecting. So clearly, you know, it works both ways, you know, from north to south to east to west, eyesight-wise. So anyways, I just always want to throw that out there, guys. I love your guys' stuff, man. It's great stuff. You guys have my heart. I understand you guys are my mind, everything. It's pretty cool to listen to people that feel the same way I do. So
Appreciate the call, and we feel the same. It's great to hear from people that recognize that. Yeah, it's something that's not taught. It's how perspective works. Works like that on the ground, works like that on the sky, only there's much more sky than there is ground. Jason White said Corona is a controlled dollar collapse. Could be. Yeah, it's looking like that. I mean, and what are they doing right now? Just giving away hordes of money to these makeshift hospitals. Dave, none of those makeshift hospitals ever even had patients.
Nope. Most of them have been taken down without ever seeing a single patient.
Yet they were given hundreds of millions of dollars. So if you want, and then with this stimulus package and all, I mean, it's just when you can just print money, of course, all the value is lost. And that's why, I've stayed away from really telling people to get Bitcoin just because I don't want them to have their life savings disappear, which can happen when you lose your password or something. I think you need to be safe about it, but people need to recognize that that's why Bitcoin is great, is that it has only a certain amount that will ever be in existence. I think it's 21 million Bitcoins forever. And there's not that many now because there's a certain amount released every 10 minutes. But that's the great thing about Bitcoin is they can never just print Bitcoin. They can't just say, okay, all of a sudden we're going to print 100 million Bitcoins today, just like the Federal Reserve does. It's print money, give it out. Let's do this $1 trillion package. All it does is put us further in debt. Places have to raise prices, and the dollar will eventually collapse. 614, or actually, I don't know what the area code is, but it's Australia. You're on with Jeranism Monday Raw. Who's this?
Hi, how are you? My name is Ricardo.
What's up, Ricardo? Ricardo, we can hear you. Go ahead.
We lost them.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Sorry, mate. So nothing. I live in a small town in Australia. Nothing really changed here with all the stupid virus thing. I know in the big cities it has because my family lives down in Melbourne, and they've been in lockdown, and you're seeing a lot on the media of the craziness that happened. But on the other hand, I just wanted to tell you guys that when my journey started, I'm originally from Colombia, so I was on my trip to Colombia, and I did reach to you, but I think you must have been busy at the time, so didn't get back from you. But I heard from my sergeant, he suggested me for an observation to be done on the plane, to take a compass, and I did exactly the experiment that David has done on his little map, where he puts the magnetic pole in the center, and then he goes with the compass, just following the magnetic pole, like he was traveling from Australia to South America. And the behavior of my compass was exactly that. That was what it was shown, and that was my biggest proof. That was 4 years ago, and yeah, I'm going to hopefully be doing the same trip at the end of the year. Now that my knowledge is better, I think I'll try to pull up a better observation.
All right, thanks. Yeah, appreciate that. And the people need to do that. Appreciate the call from Australia. Glad things aren't too bad there. I think we're getting close to the end. Let's see here. I just got a lot of talk tonight about disobeying authority. I think you should mention that this is because the authority is not obeying. Oops, can't see the rest of it. Dave, any final thoughts before we go? Did you guys want to do an after show? I don't know what you guys have going on.
I'm good for it.
I got an early airport drive, so I got to cut out.
Okay, Jason and I will do a half hour or so. So everybody on YouTube, if you want to head over to dlive.tv/Jeranism, and also anybody on TFR, if you want to follow us. So it says, I think you should mention that this is because the authority is not obeying the laws we elected them to enforce, i.e. the U.S. Constitution. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there is no reason to disobey when, there's things that people have agreed on. This is not something that people agreed on. I do not consent. If they force me to get a vaccination, for example, when I say disobey, I'm going to stand up and say no. Why? Because I didn't consent to having people stick needles into my arms. And again, if you want the flu shot, by all means, go to Target, get your free flu shot, get your $5 coupon, enjoy yourselves. But if you haven't looked into vaccinations, if you don't know you're getting injected with genetically modified nonsense and metals and everything else, then It's on you. All right, guys, that's the end of the show. We'll see you on D Live for a short after show. Jason, I will call you on Skype in a minute.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Later, guys. Till next week. This has been Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Peace. Well, is the end of the show not yet? All right, we're still here. I don't know. I thought my clock is way off. I don't know what's going on. There we go. All right, see you guys soon. Peace.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Ella, and I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
Presidential Memorial